Get ready to meet one of the most majestic, powerful, and downright amazing animals walking the earth today, the buffalo. Now hold on, not the American bison, but the true buffaloes found across Africa and Asia. These animals aren't just big and strong. They're full of surprises, fascinating behaviors, and a few fun quirks that might just make you smile. So stick around, because by the end of this adventure, you'll know the buffalo like never before. Buffaloes are animals that thrive where grass is plentiful and water is never too far away. Let's start with Africa, home of the famous Cape buffalo. These giants roam through savannas, open woodlands, floodplains, and even thick swamps. Their herds can often be spotted gathered near rivers or lakes, where the grass stays green longer and the mud offers the perfect place to cool off. Cape buffaloes are sometimes called the gardeners of the savanna, because as they graze, they help keep vegetation trimmed and create open spaces that benefit countless other species. Now hop over to Asia, and you'll meet their cousins, the water buffaloes. These animals are perfectly adapted to wetlands, marshes, and river valleys. They're so comfortable in the water that they'll spend hours submerged up to their necks, with just their nostrils sticking out like snorkels. This lifestyle has made them a vital partner to people in farming regions and where they've worked alongside humans 1,000 years. So whether they're stomping through muddy swamps or standing tall in the golden plains of Africa, buffaloes are true masters of survival in some of the world's most challenging habitats. Do buffaloes migrate? Well, it depends on the species. African Cape buffaloes don't follow long-distance migration routes like wildebeest. Instead, their movements are all about finding water and fresh grass. When the dry season arrives, these herds will travel, sometimes dozens of miles, to locate greener pastures and reliable rivers. Once the rains return, they head back toward the lush savannas. It's less of a migration and more of a smart commute between food and water sources. Water buffaloes in Asia behave a little differently. Because they thrive in wetlands and rice fields, they don't travel as far. But they do shift to higher ground when floodwaters rise or when food in one area gets scarce. So while they're not famous migrators, buffaloes are excellent at reading the land and moving as needed to keep their bellies full and their bodies cool. Let's talk food. Buffaloes are strict herbivores, which means they're all about plants. Their menu includes tall grasses, reeds, aquatic plants, and even shrubs when grass is hard to find. An adult buffalo can munch through 25 to 40 pounds of grass in a single day. Now that's an appetite. African buffaloes often graze in the early morning and late afternoon, taking breaks in the heat of the day to lounge and chew cud. Meanwhile, water buffaloes are famous for grazing in flooded fields, happily pulling up aquatic plants. And here's a fun fact. Their broad, square-shaped mouths are perfect for grabbing mouthfuls of grass quickly, which is super important when you gotta share a meadow with hundreds of hungry herd mates. How big are buffaloes? Get ready, because these are true heavyweights. African Cape buffaloes can weigh anywhere from 1,100 to 2,000 pounds, with the largest males tipping the scales even higher. They stand about 5 to 6 feet tall at the shoulder, and their bodies stretch over 10 feet long. Now that's a lot of buffalo. Water buffaloes are just as impressive. Wild males can reach 2,600 pounds, making them some of the heaviest animals in Asia. They're built like tanks, with strong stocky frames and thick hides. As for lifespan, buffaloes can live 18 to 25 years in the wild, depending on food, habitat, and conditions. In domestication, water buffaloes may live even longer, thanks to veterinary care and steady food supplies. Now here's something buffaloes really enjoy: water. Buffaloes are excellent at regulating their body temperature by wallowing in rivers, ponds, or mud pits. African buffaloes will stand chest deep in water on hot days, while water buffaloes take it a step further, sometimes lying down so that only their noses and eyes peek above the surface. It's their version of air conditioning. Mud baths also help them keep bugs at bay. When they coat themselves in thick mud, it creates a natural barrier against biting flies and ticks. So next time you see a buffalo covered in mud, don't think it's messy. Think of it as a spa treatment with built-in bug repellent. When it comes to romance, buffaloes have a few traditions of their own. The Cape buffalo doesn't have a fixed breeding season, though calves are often born at the start of the rainy season when food is most abundant. This timing makes sense because a new mother needs all the nutrition she can get. Males will often compete for females, using their massive horns to spar and show off their strength. But don't worry, most of these battles are more about show than causing injury. Once a female is expecting, she'll carry her calf for about 11 months. And when that calf is born, it's already able to stand and walk within just a few hours. A very important survival skill when you live in open grasslands. In water buffaloes, the story is similar. They also have a gestation period of nearly a year, and calves often stay close to their mothers for protection and guidance. Young buffaloes grow quickly, joining in with the herd and learning the rhythms of grazing, wallowing, and traveling. It's a beautiful cycle of life that keeps these herds strong, generation after generation. Now let's talk about something that makes buffaloes instantly recognizable, those incredible horns. In African Cape buffaloes, the horns are thick, curved, and sweep outward and upward in dramatic arcs. On older males, the bases of the horns come together in the middle of the forehead, forming what's called a boss. This boss is like a built-in helmet, protecting them during head-to-head clashes. It's one of the most impressive natural shields in the animal kingdom. Water buffaloes, on the other hand, have horns that are even more spectacular in length. Some wild males grow horns that stretch over 6 feet across. These horns curve backward in elegant crescents, making them look absolutely regal as they graze in the wetlands. Horns aren't just for fighting. They also serve as a way to display age and strength. Bigger, heavier horns tell the herd that this buffalo has survived many years and earned respect. So whether short and boss-like or long and sweeping, buffalo horns are a true badge of honor. Want some buffalo trivia that'll impress your friends? Here's a good one. Domesticated water buffaloes provide more than half of the world's milk used for making cheese, yogurt, and butter. That's right. Buffaloes aren't just grazing peacefully. They're feeding millions of people every single day. And buffaloes are surprisingly good swimmers. They'll cross rivers with ease, even strong currents, moving their massive bodies through the water like it's no big deal. And here's something else. African buffaloes are known for their teamwork. When threatened, they'll form a protective circle around their calves, horns facing outward. It's like a living fortress, proving that there's real strength in sticking together. Now you might be wondering, with all that size, are buffaloes fast? The answer is yes. Despite their massive bulk, buffaloes can run at speeds of up to 35 miles per hour, and they're not just quick in short bursts. They're agile too, able to turn sharply even in muddy ground or dense vegetation. This combination of size, speed, and strength makes them one of the most impressive herbivores in the animal world. So while they might look calm while grazing, remember, a buffalo can move when it needs to. And there you have it, the mighty buffalo. From the grasslands of Africa to the wetlands of Asia, these animals have proven themselves to be survivors and protectors of the herd. They're strong, social, surprisingly fast, and endlessly fascinating. Next time you see a buffalo, whether in the wild or even on a farm, take a moment to appreciate just how incredible these animals truly are. Because buffaloes aren't just big beasts of the plains, they're living legends. Thanks for joining me on this adventure. And remember, the world is full of amazing animals just waiting to be discovered. Also give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe to BearBunk and follow our channel for more amazing wildlife stories. And remember, buffalo aren't just powerful grazers. They're social, resilient, and their unique horns make each one truly one of a kind. Until next time, keep exploring and appreciating the wild wonders around us.